Okay, YouTubers. So I'm back 6 months later. And boy, have a lot of the situations that I was going through, have they changed. So in my first YouTube, I talked about situations. I had a lot of situations going on. Relationship situations, living situations, friendship situations. Like I just had a bunch of situations. The main situation that I talked about was my situation with my husband and us being separated. Currently, we're very weird. We're married, we're working things out, but we prefer to not use the title of husband and wife, if that makes sense to anybody. Um, I know people are going to be like, oh, that's weird, but you guys are married. We've been together with some small gaps in between for 12 years, and we've been married for 3. But we've come to terms that we've never really had like that normal, conventional, or whatever relationship. Like, so we are living our best life the best way we can. Like, with no added pressure from nobody. Because as much as people talk about marriage, there's a lot of pressure that comes with having that title as being someone's wife and being someone's husband. Even though people don't talk about that part, like, everybody's goal is marriage. Oh, marriage, that's the goal. But there's a lot that come with that. When you marry somebody, you have to marry your best friend. Like, no BS. Like, you really have to marry your best friend. And I will admit, my husband knows me probably better than he know himself. And I know my husband better than he know himself at times. But what people don't understand is it is very hard. It's not always an easy thing to go through. And our separation, it showed us a lot. Like, we wasn't together in the summertime, and he was off doing him, I was off doing me. There were some situations, and we just recently came back together. And we've just been chilling like friends, like real good friends. But for the most part, like, we've been working on the friendship part of us. And like I spoke about in my first video, like, communication has always been a big thing for me. Like, I've never really been good at it. I was always the type, like, any negative thing is like, I don't want to argue, so I would just shut down about it. Now I speak my little 2 cents and I keep it pushing. Like, no, he gonna hear what I have to say. We can agree to disagree, disagree to agree. Like, this is just what it is, and this is how it works. And it took me a long time to understand that. Like I said, we've been together with some gaps in between for 12 years and married for 3. And it ain't always been easy, but I'm grateful for the time. Like, I'm grateful that I'm grateful that we was apart. I'm grateful that we was separated because it helped me heal me. Like, I had a lot of things going on before him and I got together, and I bottled a lot of it up, and he tried to love me through that, and I just couldn't let him. Like, I wouldn't let him. If you know me and you knew my dad, then you'd understand why I'm saying that. That's another whole YouTube or video rather. Um but yeah, for that part, for all those who were following and couldn't believe we were separated, as y'all see, we are currently working on just being better for ourselves first and being better for our kids, which is the ultimate goal. Like, so at this point, like, that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, he's mine and I'm his. Period. Um, Another thing I talked about was my living situation. I'm not gonna really get into that. I'm just gonna say that I'm grateful for having a roof over my head at this point. Like, that's it for that situation. Um, let's see what else. Uh, oh, you know what else? This is another thing that I want to talk about because I've been seeing a lot of this posted on Facebook, and one of the groups that I follow, which is it's about kids being diagnosed with ADHD. Okay, so my daughter was diagnosed with ADHD about a year or two ago, I think. And I knew that she had ADHD when she was like 3. And at that time, we lived in Texas. And everybody would say, oh, she's just a social butterfly. There's nothing wrong with her. Yada, 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 yada. But I knew, if you like me, you know your kids. You know them. And once we moved back to Philly, I told her dad, like, I was, going to get her tested. Like, I somewhat got her tested when we lived in Texas. Like, she had a behavioral specialist or whatever. But one of my daughter's key things is that she's very, like, she can be social, but she can be very antisocial. And as she was going through the phase, she started she's been homeschooled for a while. And then, we got her into school because that was my key thing. My husband, he's just into the whole, homeschool, homeschool, homeschool. But I always looked at life like, your kids got to have a social life. Like, they need friends. But my daughter was she was very happy with being homeschooled. It was all me. Like I said, it was like, oh, I got to get her into school. I got to get her into school because she got to make friends and, all this other stuff. And once she got tested for the ADHD, the first thing that they asked was, did I want to put her on medicine? And I said, yes. Yes, because I know my child. And when I tell you guys, the medicine made a world of a difference. Like, when we first gave her the medicine, we was just like, is this our daughter? This can't be our daughter. Because she had like a million things running through her mind, like do 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 do. Like, she would want to do like 100 things in 5 minutes. And it was like she just needed help. Like, people think ADHD is like this really bad thing, and all kids act out and all this other stuff. And that's not the case. Like, my child is very smart. She is very, like, let's not get that twisted. Let me put that out there. She is very smart. She's very gifted. But she just has a thing with her wanting to do a million things at once. So the medicine helps her slow down. Not slow her mind down, like make her sluggish and all that. It just helps her focus. So instead of her maybe wanting to do 10 math problems, do her doll baby hair, watch her iPad, talk on her phone, text on her phone, watch TV, it's like, okay, no, let me do this first. Let me do this second. Let me do this third. Like, that's what the medicine does for my child. Now, I can only speak for my child and the experience that me and her dad go through with her being on the medicine. But I just get tired of hearing people downplay ADHD, like, especially when it comes to the black community, like, all black kids don't have ADHD, or that's the first thing they want to throw at these black kids. Like, no, I knew that my child had a problem, so I worked it out. Like, I sat down with her dad and I told him, like, no, listen, I've been telling him since she was 3. Like I said, like, no, she has ADHD. Something isn't right. If I got to take her to 1,000,001 doctors and get 1,000,001 opinions, that's what I'll do. And I'm cool with that, because that's what's wrong with the community. Things be wrong with kids, and people push it to the back. I'm never going to be one of those moms. If something is wrong with my kid, if I feel like my kid about to be a killer, guess what? I'm taking my child to go get some help, because my child not going to be out here killing people, okay? I'm going to do everything in my power as a mother to get it worked out. If I feel like my child about to be this high-tech computer engineered, like, and she's showing those signs, you know what? I'm going to do my best to get my child in the best school possible that's going to help her with that. I'm going to do that for both of my kids, period. But I just hate to hear people just downplay the whole ADHD and the medication. And I'm not saying all kids need medication. You know, it's other therapies, like another form of therapy. Like my child does go to therapy. But another form of therapy that she does on her own is art therapy. My daughter loves to draw. She loves to color. That is her outlet. And I help her with that outlet. I go to Michael's, get my little 50% coupon, and I buy my baby canvases. I can show y'all, not this video because I don't feel like getting that. I have an art wall when you walk into my house where her and my son, it's just canvases that they've colored, painted on the wall. Like, every situation is just not bad. And I just really think that it sucks that people downplay the whole situation, because like I said, there are kids out here who have it. So don't make them feel bad because they're on medication or because their parents put them on medication. Just because you're opposed to the medication, that's your business. And nobody's knocking that. I would never knock anybody who doesn't want to put their kid on medication, because that is your preference. All I can tell you is what the medication does for my child and how me and her dad seen the difference when she wasn't on it and when she got on it. Even when there's times, like, for instance, if she don't take her medicine in the morning, I can tell the difference when she get home from school that she missed a dose. Just like that. It's just that simple. So I don't think you should knock us parents who put our kids on medication. I'm going to do whatever I have to do for mine. That's just it. And I'm not saying that you're not going to do what you have to do for yours if you decide to not put them on the medication, because that may be the best thing for your child or your children. That's cool. But don't knock me for what I do. Okay? I'm trying to think of the situations that I talked about in the first video. I guess that's it for right now. I guess that's all I'll really talk about. I really wanted to get that whole ADHD thing out the way, and, you know, just to give y'all an update on me and my husband's situation. Hopefully I can get him to do one of these videos with me. I wonder, would you guys like that? I think I'm going to talk to him about it, because I'm sure he has issues. I'm sure he would want to talk about, you know, how things have changed for us and manifested, and, you know, how we just live in the now. Like, that's what it is for us. So I guess I'll be back in a couple days or something, or maybe tomorrow with a new video.